Whether purposely or not, it's unfortunate that the vast majority of women kill men's masculinity. It could be purposeful by masculine feminist women trying to overpower and feminize men, or it could be completely accidental, and a woman who truly cares about you and wants the absolute best for you just doesn't understand what's the most important thing in your life and what you need and want from life. And so in this video I want to talk about just that, how women kill men's masculinity, whether purposely or not, and how truly detrimental it becomes. And so the idea behind this video came around when I thought back to 3 years ago now, where I got an opportunity to get free lessons from a life coach. And I don't actually know, but it would be a good guess to say that this life coach was a professional. They were certified, qualified, and they knew what they were talking about. And it was truly a rare experience, because this life coach would charge around £50 an hour, and I was able to get coached for free. And this opportunity came up because my father worked for a man whose wife was a life coach. And so it must have been that my father and the man that he worked for started a conversation about me, or just ended up talking about me, and my father ended up saying something along the lines of that I have no future security quite yet. And then the man that he was working for brought up that his wife was a life coach, and then my father came home and brought up this opportunity to me. And it's a pretty big no-brainer to take free coaching from a certified professional, and I didn't really need to think about it. I didn't exactly need any guidance, but getting free advice from a professional is a no-brainer. And so I went along with it. Ended up having 2 coaching sessions with this woman, and at the time I thought it was a pretty good experience. But thinking back to it now, she would have set me up for failure, whether purposely or not. Because I remember that I went into her and she started asking me questions about me and what I do and what I want to do and everything like that. And at the time I was getting into dropshipping and broke up with my girlfriend at the time. And then we talked more and she asked more questions, and then she came to the conclusion that a lot of my thoughts, ambitions and worries were to do with success. And she would be right, but she thought that was a problem and that I didn't focus enough on family and friends and relationships. And I distinctly remember that she asked me how much money I have, and at the time I had £1,000 saved up and in my bank account, and also pointed out the fact that I have a car, and being 19 at the time, she said that I'm doing very good because how many people my age are doing this well. Which is honestly a good point, but what benefit do I gain from comparing myself to people who are worse than me? I only got to feel good about myself with not having achieved a lot. And say out of the average 100 men that were my age at the time, I was probably bottom 40, and she was comparing me to the bottom 10. And so I felt good about myself when compared in that vacuum, but in the big picture, I wasn't doing good at all. And so the point here being that I was so ambitious, I wanted to achieve so much, and I did achieve a little with the money that I had and the car that I had, which I didn't even buy for myself because it got handed down to me by my parents. But she pointed that out to me and said that I'm doing enough and I should focus more on family, friendships and relationships. And with her being the alpha in the room because she knew more than me and she was able to advise me and guide me, if I fully took on what she said and didn't question a single thing, I would probably be living as a feminine, degenerate and emotional man. Because I would be focusing on love and the quality of relationships that I have, instead of focusing on building a better life for myself, achieving goals and becoming the best version of myself. But don't get me wrong, because of course relationships and family are vitally important. But are you going to be happy that you have friendships and good relationship with your family if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you work a job you don't like? And every day is extremely strenuous, and you live every day with no meaning, and the actions that you take are meaningless. Sure, you may come home and be greeted by a loving family, but you're depressed. Another way I could explain it is by comparing success and family and relationships to a car, and say that you're the car and the engine is the success that you want to achieve, both materialistically and mentally and spiritually. And the tires on the car are your family and friendships and relationships. And with you being this car, the destination that you want to get to is the goals that you want to achieve. And so you don't need a massive engine to get to the destination. And you can have really good tires, but it won't be quick, and a lot of people are going to overtake you in achieving these goals. But by the same token, you could have a massive engine, but with really bad tires or no tires at all. So of course you need to strike a balance between having a good engine and good tires. In the same way, you need to strike a balance between focusing on success and focusing on the quality of relationships that you have in your life. Because of course humans are social creatures, and having good quality relationships is vitally important for any sort of meaningful life. And so in the same way that some people just don't understand why some men want these supercars or modified cars with massive engines that go super fast when it does the same job, and you can get from point A to point B a bit quicker maybe, but you can still get there with a slower car. Women don't understand that men want to ruthlessly compete and work towards a goal that is so attractive that you want to put all of your energy and attention into it. And not only into achieving it, but doing it fast and as well as you can, competing with other men, doing better than them, and all in all becoming a better version of yourself while doing so, and being better than other men. And so this female life coach understood that having quality relationships is important, and it would be even more important to her being a woman, because the feminine focuses on the flow of love and being in the moment and just letting things flow. But the masculine is completely different. The masculine wants to achieve things, overcome challenges, compete and do better than others, become the best version of himself while doing so, and showing his value through sheer strength and competence. And like I said, if I had fully listened to what she said and focused on relationships, I wouldn't be here right now trying to make the world a better place. And of course, if I focused on the relationships that I had, sure I would get some joy from having quality relationships, but I wouldn't feel useful and I wouldn't have a meaningful life. And that's exactly how men get depressed and suicidal, because they feel like they are worthless in this world and that they could kill themselves and the world would be no different. And so men want to feel needed and important, so that they feel like they're useful and meaningful to others. And the only way to do that is by setting big goals in something that you care about and trying to achieve them as best as you can. Especially if the goal that you set out makes the world a better place or just helps people in general. And I can say right now that back when I spoke to that life coach, around that time and after it, I was completely depressed and lived a completely meaningless life. I did what I felt like. I ended up going to a gym, but that's about it, and ended up developing suicidal bouts of nihilism. And I was thinking how life is suffering and I have no reason for the suffering. Life is just difficult for no reason and I need to live through it. But for what good reason? And so whether purposely or not, this woman life coach was setting me up for failure and didn't open my eyes to what a masculine man's life should be like. And so of course figure out what problems in life you want to solve. It could be helping people, helping animals, building things, fixing things, entertaining people, making things for people, or coming up with creative ideas that helps the people who do the listed things do them in a better or more efficient way. Having a purposeful life can take many forms, and you just need to figure out what resonates with you most. And that will take time, and it may get frustrating when you don't understand what it is just yet. And it may take days or even weeks for you to understand exactly what that is. But if you want to figure out what that is, shut everything off, turn everything off, any external stimulus, and just think. Think about what you care about and what problems you could fix in this world. Because every single man on this planet has it within him to leave a positive little dent in the universe. But most men do not harness that energy and use it for good, or use it for anything at all. But you won't be like them. You will use it for good, and you'll slowly make the world a better place, helping people, helping things, and just continuing to do that, gaining competence, and proving to yourself that you are an important man in this world. You fix problems, or you help people, and you make the world a better place. And that's how you build up a meaningful life for yourself. A meaningful life that gives you a reason to fight through this everyday struggle and not even think about killing yourself anymore, because you understand how important you truly are. So harness that power that you have within yourself. Use it for good, become the best version of yourself, take care of your people, and live a meaningful life. If this video has helped you, make sure you subscribe because it really helps a lot. Put in enough time and attention because that will make anything into a reality.